Hi everyone, myself Priyanka. Welcome to Sri Job Solutions. In this video, let us learn how to insert values into the table already we have created. So guys, if you haven't watched our create table video, please go back and watch that create table video and come back here. I'm sharing the link for that create table video in the description box. So guys, in our previous session, we have created a table called student. So let me run a DRL query for that student table. A DRL query for the student table is select star from student and then semicolon. So now let me run this query, guys. You can see this is a simple DRL query for a student table. It has columns student name, roll number, and marks secured. So here the table is empty. I wanted to insert some values into the table. How to insert values into the table? We need to use a syntax for insert DML command. What is the syntax for insert DML command? It is insert into table name in that we need to write here in which table name I wanted to insert values. After that, we need to mention values keyword. After mentioning the values keyword, we need to mention whatever the values we wanted to give for the columns. So guys, we need to use this syntax when I wanted to insert values for all the columns. See here guys, in our student table, we have only 3 columns. Out of these 3 columns, I wanted to insert value for each of the column. So I need to use this syntax here. Consider I wanted to insert only values to few of the columns. In a table, I have 3 columns. Out of these 3 columns, I wanted to insert values to only 2 of the columns. At that time, we need to write our syntax starting with insert into. After that, we need to mention in which table I wanted to insert values. After that, I'll be opening the parenthesis. After opening the parenthesis, I'll mention column names for which column I wanted to insert values. Consider guys, I wanted to insert values for 1 column and 3rd column. So we'll mention here what is the name of 1st column and what is the name of 3rd column. After mentioning the columns, we'll be closing the parenthesis. After closing the parenthesis, we'll go for values keyword and then open the parenthesis and then we'll be giving values for those 2 columns. After giving the values, we'll close the parenthesis and then we'll terminate our query. These are the 2 syntaxes we follow for inserting of values. So now let us go for inserting some values. So guys, now I wanted to insert values to all the columns. So if I wanted to insert values for all the columns, I would be following this syntax. So the first syntax. So now let us write a query. How would it start? It would start with insert into. After this insert into, we'll mention what is the table name in which I wanted to insert values. I wanted to insert values into student. So in the place of table name, I have mentioned student. After that, I'm going for a values keyword. After going for the values keyword, now I have opened the parenthesis. After opening the parenthesis, the value I wanted to give for student name is Devraj. So now let me give me the same. After giving the student name, I'm giving the separation factor, comma, and the roll number of this Devraj is 01. So I'm giving the same and the marks secured by him are 456. So I have given all the values and closed the parenthesis. After that, I'm terminating my query with a simple semicolon. So now let me run this query, guys. It is showing one row is inserted. Now I wanted to insert one more values. Now also I wanted to insert all the 3 values. At that time, how to write the query? I'll be writing my query starting with insert into. After that, I'll mention in which table name I wanted to insert values. I wanted to insert values into student table name. So in the place of table name, I'll write here student. After that, I'll go for the keyword values. After going for the keyword values, I have opened the parenthesis. After opening the parenthesis, now in the place of student name, I'm giving Ramya. Comma, in the place of roll number, I'm giving 02. And the marks secured by her are 546. So I'm giving the same. After that, I have closed the parenthesis. And after closing the parenthesis, I'm terminating my query with a simple semicolon. So now let me run this query, guys. You can see two rows are inserted. Now we'll go for a DRL query for the student table. What is the simple DRL query for the student table? A simple DRL query for the student table is select star from student and then semicolon. So now let me run this query, guys. You can see, guys, we have the two values which are being inserted into the table. These are the two records which we have inserted into the table. Now we'll go for insertion of values. Now I wanted to insert only few values. If I wanted to insert values only to a specific column means we need to follow this syntax here. So now let me write my query. I would write my query start with insert into. After that, insert into, I'll mention in which table name I wanted to insert values. I wanted to insert into student. So I'll mention the same. After that, so guys, now I wanted to insert values only to student name and roll number. That means we are inserting values only to few of the columns. At that time, we need to mention what are the column names we wanted to insert values. I wanted to insert value to student name, comma, roll number. So I have given the same. After giving both the column names, I have closed the parenthesis. After closing the parenthesis, I'm going for values keyword. After that, I have opened the parenthesis. After opening the parenthesis, now I wanted to give value for the student name. I wanted to give the name as a Vijeta. So I'm giving the same. After that, I'm giving a separation factor and the roll number for Vijeta is 3. So I'm giving the same. After giving this 3, I have closed the parenthesis and terminated my query with a simple semicolon. So now let me run the query, guys. You can see one row is inserted into the table. Now I wanted to insert values for only roll number and this mark secured. So how do we write our query? We would be writing our query starting with insert into. After this insert into will mention table name. In which table name I wanted to insert values. I wanted to insert values to student. So I have mentioned the same. After that, I have opened the parenthesis. After opening the parenthesis, will mention to which columns I wanted to insert values. I wanted to insert values to roll number, comma, mark secured. So I have mentioned the same. After mentioning the column names, I have closed the parenthesis. After closing the parenthesis, I'm going for values keyword. And after mentioning values keyword, open the parenthesis. After opening the parenthesis, now the values I wanted to give are 4, comma, mark secured are 538. So given the same and closing the parenthesis and I have terminated my query with a simple semicolon. So now let me run the query, guys. You can see it is showing one row is inserted. Now we'll go for a simple DRL query. A simple DRL query for the student table is select star from student and semicolon. So now let me run the query. You can see, guys, we have got the values. In the first case, we have inserted values only to the student name and roll number. So the values, whichever we have inserted, they have been inserted into the student name and roll number. What about the other column for which we haven't given any value? To that columns, null will be populated. In the next case, we have given values to only roll number and mark secured. Whatever the values we have given that have been populated to roll number and mark secured. To the column names which we haven't given values, those columns, they have been populated with null values. So guys, this is all about insert command. Thank you for watching my video. If you like the video, please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you.